Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a traveler who hates to check a bag unless she absolutely has to. Whether I'm gone a week or a weekend, I'm going to put as much as I can into that carry-on. I will Tetris my life before I resort to checking a bag and giving it to the airline. So when DEYACE reached out and asked me to try their 40-liter backpack, I was totally curious because, let's face it, 40 liters is a bold claim for a carry-on. All right, so here's the deal. So this is their 40-liter travel backpack, and it is TSA carry-on compliant. Now, the dimensions are roughly 13 by 21 and a half by 8.5 inches. And that's going to fit almost all of your airline overhead requirements. And I tell you, once you put everything in here, it is not going to feel like a carry-on. It totally feels like way more bag than that. In fact, as soon as I got this, my husband took it on a weekend trip to DC, and he came back pretty impressed by how much he got in there. Multiple outfits, shoes, computer, all of it. And that's actually one of my favorite things about this bag. It does have a separate shoe compartment, and it has lots of different pockets and storage areas for anything you might be traveling with. So, that shoe pocket for sure, it sounds small, but it's huge when you're trying to stuff a, kind of smelly pair of tennis shoes in there and you don't want the rest of your stuff to smell bad. Some of the other features that I really like about it, it's got a laptop compartment and it fits up to a 17-inch laptop. It's also padded, so your computer is going to be protected. There's a separate iPad sleeve. So if you're traveling with lots of different electronics, you know how annoying it can be when everything is just kind of, in the same open area, bumping around, rubbing against each other. There's some hidden anti-theft pockets, which I love for travel. You can put your passport, cards, anything like that in there. My husband used one of them for some tissues so that they were easily accessible. There's also that built-in USB charging port on the outside, which sounds gimmicky, but until you actually really have to use it, you don't realize how much you're going to appreciate it. So the zippers are YKK. So I learned something new about here because those are the gold standard for zippers. If you're a bag nerd, you might have already known that, but I learned something new. They're anti-theft style, meaning they're harder to pop open quickly. And because this material is like a military-grade nylon, and it's water resistant for those sightseeing. So if you get caught in the rain running through a rainstorm or trying to catch a train, you're not going to be panicking about your laptop or any sensitive documents, cash, anything like that. There's also webbing on the outside, so you can really easily attach additional pouches or gear. I've seen people stick their sunglasses or pens in there. And honestly, I think that's kind of really appealing to the tactical crowd. And you can even hide the shoulder strap so it looks more like a traditional carry-on bag, and it does have that over-the-shoulder strap, which is great if you're traveling somewhere more professional and don't want it to look like a backpacking backpack, although this is really nice. The back panel is ventilated, the shoulder straps are nice and thick, and there are those chest and waist straps for stability. I will say it can get a little heavy because you can fit so much into it. And that's a good problem to have for a bag. So you get to decide how much you carry, not the bag. Overall, I'm really impressed with this bag. Thank you again to DEYACE for sending this my way. Go check it out if you're got some travel plans on the agenda for the summer. It's a perfect option for somebody who hates checking bags but wants to bring a lot with them. You're going to get great quality, sturdy, durable, and it's going to keep you organized no matter where you're going and for how long.